नमामि शारदां देवी वीणा पुस्तकधारिणी नमस्कार करस्तु me prasannastu sasra. Students, we are on the last topic of basic concepts in geometry. It is an 8 part. Today we are going to complete this section. This part we will complete the chapter. We are on the problem set, and that is question number 5. Question number 5. Answer the following question. In that, first question is, what is the meaning of it? B lie between A and C and distance A, C is 17 units. Distance B, C is 6.5. And they have asked then distance A, B they have asked. Student, I think it is a very easy question. We can easily give the answer for it. So, if they ask this type of question, you are going to write given. What is given to you? First thing is B lie between A and C. A, B, C are collinear points. Distance AC is equal to 17 units. Distance BC is equal to 6.5 units. And what they are asked to find is distance AB. To answer this question, what I'm going to do is write the solution. Now, first of all, they have given this A, B, C. B lies between as A, B and C. B lie between A and C is given. So don't see the what question they have asked. We know that we have to find out the distance. So what I'm going to do, how will write it? If they are collinear point, distance AB plus distance BC is equal to distance AC. Substitute the value of AB. AB is nothing, we don't know. So we have to find out the value of AB plus BC. Value of BC is 6.5 and AC is 17. So ultimately, distance AB is equal to 17 minus 6.5. While real calculation, 17.0 minus 6.5. This becomes 6. This becomes 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. So what you got now? Distance AB is equal to 10.5 units, and put this value in a box. Here's your final answer. See now, second question is P, Q, R are the Q lies between P and R. Distance PQ is equal to 3.4 units. Distance QR is equal to 5.7, and they have asked distance PR. So again, we are going to write given. What is given to you? Q lie between P and R. Distance PQ is equal to 3.4 units. Distance QR is equal to 5.7 units. Okay, and what we have to find? We have to find distance PR. Okay. Now, students, I think you should try this question. Pause this video. You do your own, and then you see how I did this question. Okay. तो एक बार आप लोग खुद से ट्राई करो, उसके बाद देखने की वेट सर ने कैसा किया हुआ है. You can compare the answer. Solution for this as Q lie between P and R, it is given. Therefore, distance PQ plus distance QR is equal to distance PR, and PQ and R are what? Collinear points. Therefore, distance PQ is how much? 3.4. Distance QR is 5.7. And what they have asked you? Distance PR. With help of this only you judge it and you do it. Is it right? Then 1,9 is equal to distance PR. So distance PR is equal to 9.1 units. And this you are going to put in a box and put therefore sign properly. This is your answer for the second question of question number 5. Copy down, pause the video and check. Again, this is a question. Question number 6 is very similar to question number 4. So students, if you are having solution for question number 4, go through it once again. And you also can try this question. Like, yeah, same way we are going to do whatever we have, method we have used for 4th question. Okay, so you can pause the video, read the question properly, and with help of question number 4, you can do your own. Okay, and anyhow, I'm going to do it, but if you try, it will be better for you. Now, coordinate of point A on a number line is what? 1. Correct? What are the coordinate of points on a number line which are the distance of how much? 7 units from A. So I will do one thing. I will take this as a given. First we'll write given. What is given? Coordinate of point A on a number line is equal to 1. What is the coordinate of point A? Is 1. What are the coordinates and what they have asked to find? They are asked to find coordinates of points on a number line which are at a distance of 7 units from point A. Now what I told you that this question is very similar to the question number 4. So in that case, what we did, we have drawn the figure. So we are here also. I am going to draw a figure. So solution. So this point is there. Okay. So to draw a figure, see, if I draw a figure from here to here, the point A is there, right? Having coordinate 1. And on this number line, as I told you, we are at Bhayandar station. Somebody asked me which city is there on this railway line, which at the distance of 7 kilometers from here. So I may ask the question, which side, this side or that side? There are two possibilities are there. So I am going to take possibility that is P and Q. P is on left hand side, Q is on right hand side, and coordinate of P I am going to take X, this I am going to take Y, and distance between P and A is 7 units. Here also what? 7 units. Are you getting my point? So to solve this question, what I am going to do? There are 2 points on a number line, which are at a distance of 7 units from point A. Let P and Q be the 2 points on number line which are at a distance of 7 units from A. 7 units from A. And it is let coordinate of point P, let coordinate of point P be X and coordinate of point Q be Y. That's we have taken. Such that X is smaller than 1 is smaller than Y. Have you understood this? You got it? So, for distance PA, what is the coordinate of point? Point A is 1 and coordinate of point B is X, and X is 1 is greater than X. Yeah, here what you have written? X is smaller than, 1 is greater than X. Therefore, distance PA is equal to 1 minus X. You got it? 1 minus X is the distance. PA is how much? 7 is equal to 1 minus X. So 7, we can write 7 plus X is equal to 1. Because we want plus X, we don't want the value of minus X. So X is equal to 1 minus 7. And what you got now? X is equal to minus 6. That is the coordinate of point P. Now what I can do is, for distance AQ, what is the coordinate of point A is 1 and coordinate of point B is equal to Y, and Y is greater than 1. So distance AQ is equal to, sorry, it is Q. Distance AQ is equal to Y minus 1. This is 7 is equal to Y minus 1. 7 plus 1 is equal to Y, and we got Y is equal to 8. So, final answer we can write over here. Got it now? So, we got, this is the coordinate of point Q, that is Y. Is it right? Therefore, what they have asked you? The coordinate of points on a number line. You can write the answer question properly. What is that? Therefore, coordinate of points on a number line which are at a distance of 7 units from A are -6 and -6 and 8. This is the way you are going to write this answer. This question is very similar to question number 4. I will repeat it once again. This is again very important question. New students, here you can see this is a question. It is, we can say that one of the challenging question for this at your level, at this level. अब थोड़ा सा आगे पढ़ाई करोगे तो तुम लोग को इजी लगेगा ये क्वेश्चन, बट इस वक्त इसकी आदत नहीं है, तो प्लीज जरा इसको कंसीडर करो. कोऑर्डिनेट ऑफ पॉइंट A on a number line is what? 1. What is the coordinate of point on a number line which are at a distance of how much? 7 units from point A. On a number line, A का coordinate कितना है? 1. And they have asked the coordinate of point which are at a distance of 7 units from A, means वो O बाजू में भी हो सकता है, A बाजू में भी हो सकता है. Correct? They have asked that. So there are how many points are there? P and Q. Correct? I have considered that point P and Q. And इसके coordinates लिए हमने X और Y. और X की condition कैसी है? X is smaller than 1, which is smaller than Y. When I want to find out this distance, then coordinate of point A is 1, coordinate of point B is X, 1 is greater than X. So distance PA is equal to 1 minus X. 7 is equal to 1 minus X. So we got a value of X, but do not find out value of minus X. It should be plus X only, that is minus X. And coordinate of point A is equal to 1, Q is equal to Y, Y is greater than 1. So 7 is equal to Y minus 1, 7 plus 1 is equal to Y, Y is equal to 8. So this is the coordinate of point P, this is the coordinate of point Q. So what are you going to write? Coordinate of point on the number line which are at a distance of 7 units from point A are what? -6 and 8. Please, this is very important question. Revise it once again. Okay, and you tried, because this type of question you should solve after completing this. When you copy down this question, you try your own on a rough paper, then you get a practice for this question. Okay, this is easy, but it is lengthy. Do it properly. It is important question. Now, second question is write the following statement in a conditional form. Means what is the conditional form? If then form. Right? Now you have to put if and then. It is called as what? Conditional form. So first statement, every rhombus is a square. Okay, we are going to put what? If and then. To statement in conditional form. What is the statement condition from? Every rhombus is a quadrilateral. Okay, so given if I can write if given quadrilateral is a rhombus, every rhombus, this given quadrilateral is a rhombus, then it is a square. It is a square. Actually, this is a question given in a textbook. But in algebra, we have given every square is a rhombus actually. Every square is a rhombus. So the question should be like this. Every square is a rhombus. Please student, this is the main property, but they have given every rhombus is a square. So new textbook may change the statement. You are going to change according to whatever textbook we are having. they have given this, so we have written according to that. But question will be like that: every square is a rhombus. Then what I'm going to, if a given quadrilateral is a square, then it is a rhombus. You got it? Have you understood now? We'll go for the second. What is that? Angle in a linear pair are supplementary. So what is the statement for in a conditional? क्या रहेगा conditional statement? Angle in a linear pair, correct? If pair of angles are forming linear pair. Pair of angles are forming linear pair. These pairs are forming what? Linear pair. Then they are supplementary. So if you have to put in the if and then form, this type of questions, maybe statements are here and there, but meaning is same. So maybe possible your teacher will also give some little bit change in the statement. Don't worry, that is also right. Once again, angles in a linear pair are supplementary. Conditional statement: if a pair of angles form in a linear pair, then they are what? Supplementary. You got it? See the third question. What is that? Angles in a triangle is a figure formed by three segments. So what I can write? If a given figure is a triangle, it is formed by three segments. Same thing is that. What is that? Statement in a conditional form. या फिर conditional statement. Statement in conditional form: if given given figure is a triangle. If a given figure is a triangle, then it is formed by three segments. It is formed by three segments. You can, if you can put this in a box, this also you can put in a box. This you are going to put in box. Have you understood this? An exam you will come to know what is your answer. Got it now? Then a number having only two divisors is called as what? Prime number. It is very easy. Statement in conditional form: if given number is having only two divisors, then it is a prime number. It is a prime number. Once again, a number having only two divisors, then what I can say that then it is a prime number. This is the answer. Okay. Now see the eighth question. Write converse. Converse को क्या करना है आपको? If को then को if. Correct? So each of the following statement: if sum of the measures of angle of a triangle is one, then के बाद पहला वाला पार्ट क्या होना चाहिए? Given, और given का वाला पार्ट antecedent become consequent and consequent become antecedent. Okay, the converse of statement. Then if, what is that? Then figure is a triangle. So what are you going to write? If given figure is a triangle, given figure is a triangle, then the sum of measures of angles is 180 degree. Sum of the measures of angles is how much? 180 degree. Once again, if the sum of the measures of angles in the figure is 180 degree, then figure is triangle. If the given figure is a triangle, then sum of the measures of angles is 180 degree is a converse of above statement. One concept is there that I have given, that the sum of the angles formed is there are supplementary. Supplementary का मतलब क्या है? If there are two angles are there, angle A and angle B, if it is 180 degree, then it is called as supplementary. And if the measure of C plus D is 90 degree, it is called as complementary. So these things we are going to study in 9th standard. But keep in mind that when sum of the two angle is 180 degree, it is called as supplementary, and sum of the measure of two angle is 90 degree, it is called as what? Complementary. And angles are called as complementary angles. They are complementary to each other. That I think it was there in 8th standard also about the supplementary and complementary. Now we are going to make use of that property. Okay. Now, converse of statement. Now, if sum of the two angle is 90 degree, then they are complementary to each other. Correct? Now, we have to make this as a given, this as what to prove. Then, if two angles are complement to each other, if two angles are complement to each other, they are complement to each other, then the sum of two angle is 90 degree. Have you understood this? I read consequent as antecedent and antecedent as what? Complement. This is called as what? Converse of above statement. Now third question. If the corresponding angles formed by a transversal of two lines are congruent, then, so this part is antecedent, this part is what? Consequent. We are going to write the converse of the statement. So, converse of above statement. If the two lines, then the two lines are parallel. So what I would write? If two lines are parallel, then the corresponding angle formed by transversal of two lines are congruent. If two lines are parallel, then the corresponding angle formed by transversal of two lines are congruent. This is a statement. Actually, you should know the meaning of it. But if they ask the question, then you have to write it this way. I'll tell you, when two lines are parallel, I know that the lines, two lines do not intersect, and this is called as what? Transversal. So these angles, suppose A and B, they are called as corresponding angles, and they are always equal. A is equal to B. Suppose here having angle G and angle H, they are also corresponding. G is equal to H. I and J, I is equal to K and suppose S to K and S. So these type of angles are called as corresponding angle, and corresponding angles of parallel lines are congruent. That is a statement. We are going to study in next topic. That time we'll see. Okay. So, but have you understood the statement of it once again? If the two lines, if the corresponding angle formed by a transversal of two lines are congruent, then the two lines are parallel. What I have taken? If the two lines are parallel, then the corresponding angle formed by a transversal of two lines are congruent is the consequent, and consequent become antecedent, antecedent become consequent. That is called as what? Converse of above statement. Please copy down it properly by pausing the video. If the sum of the digits is divisible by 3, then the number is divisible. Actually, it is one of the very important property of divisibility by 3. जैसे हमारे पास कुछ properties है ना, जैसे कि even numbers are always divisible by 2. Then last में अगर 10 और 5 रहेगा, they are all divisible by 5. This is the property, students. This you should learn now for the property of what? Divisibility of 3. Like I know that if I want to check that 14 is divisible by 3 or not, what I do? 4 plus 1, 5. 5 is not divisible by what? 3. Means 14 is not divisible by what? 3. Suppose that 15 is there. We know it is 3 5 are 15, divisible है, but how to check it? 1 plus 5. 1 plus 5 is 9. Is it right? And 9, when 1 plus 5 is 6, 6 is divisible by 3, means it is divisible by 3. Suppose I am having 19. 9 plus 1 is 10. 10 is divisible, not divisible by 3, means 19 is not divisible, but 18. 8 plus 1 is 9. 9 is divisible by 3, means 18 is divisible by 3. This is the property. तो थोड़ा सा वो property को as a question बाजू में रख के याद रखना please. What is that? Sum of the digit is divisible by 3, then it is divisible by, see, one second, 105 will take. You have to check, it is divisible by 1 plus 0, 1 plus 5, 6. 6 is divisible by 3, means 105 is divisible by 3. By that way you have to study. But now, please keep in mind that is one of the important property to check it is divisible by 3 or not. अब हम लोग इसके लिए जा रहे हैं. किसके लिए ये question के लिए. We are trying to converse of it. What is the converse? What is the antecedent from here to here, right? If the sum of the digits is divisible by 3, then के बाद वाला part is consequent. We have to make it consequent, and consequent क्या बनाना है? Antecedent. The converse of above statement. What is the converse of above statement? The number is divisible by 3 if the number is divisible by 3, then the sum of the digits is divisible by 3. That is the converse of above statement. Study it properly and copy down by pausing the video. They have asked that write the antecedent in this given part and consequent the part to be proved in the following statement. So we know that if to then part is what? Antecedent, that is a given part, and after that the statement following that, then it is the consequent part. Is it right? So that is first one is antecedent. What I wanted, I want is antecedent. All sides of triangle are congruent. Or you can do one thing. You can draw a figure and you can show by this. Okay. So I will do one thing. I will draw. All sides of a triangle are congruent. So we'll draw a triangle with all sides equal. Right? All sides equal means suppose I am giving A, B, C. All sides are equal means we are going to grow like this. Is it right? So what is the antecedent? Antecedent. All sides of triangle are congruent. All sides of a triangle are congruent means side AB is congruent to side BC is congruent to side BC. You got it? And now you are going to write what? And that antecedent means what? Now you are going to write what? Consequent. In consequent part, what am I going to write? All sides, all angles are congruent. All angles of triangle are congruent. Means angle A is congruent to angle B is congruent to angle C. You have to write. See what they have asked you, write the antecedent and consequent of the following statement. All sides of a triangle are congruent is antecedent. And all sides are congruent. So I have drawn the figure, all sides are congruent for this triangle. All sides of a triangle are congruent means AB is congruent to BC is congruent to AC. And consequent, all triangles are congruent means all angles are congruent means angle A is congruent to angle B is congruent to angle C. The diagonals of parallelogram bisect each other. So if this type of question is there, it is little bit difficult to give the antecedent and consequent. So you do one thing. Statement in conditional form. What are the diagonals of parallelogram bisect each other? So what you can write? If given quadrilateral is parallelogram, then diagonals bisect each other. So what I can do is I can first draw figure, then you are going to write draw what? Then you are going to write antecedent and consequent. So for this figure, I am going to draw a parallelogram. That is A, B, C, D is a parallelogram, and then you are going to draw the diagonals of it. So these are the diagonals. They are intersecting at point, suppose say M. Is it right? So while doing that, what are you going to write? Antecedent. What is antecedent? Given part. Given quadrilateral is parallelogram. Here you can write let quadrilateral ABCD is a parallelogram. And then you are going to write diagonally AC and BD intersect at M. Intersect at M. And after that, we are going to write consequent. Inconsequent. What is the consequent? Consequent is diagonals of parallelogram bisect each other. Bisect means divide the angle into two parts, like AM is equal to MC, MB, sorry, and DM is equal to CM. So this is the way we are going to write, and antecedent and consequent. The question now, draw a labeled figure showing information in each of the following statement. Well, I have a diagram from the previous question. They have asked the draw diagram, but we had drawn, and we got the idea how to draw it and write the antecedent and consequent. Okay, we have to draw the figure, we have to write antecedent and consequent. Two triangles, two equilateral triangles are similar. अभी हम लोग को आगे की स्टडीज में we come to know what is the meaning of similar triangles, what is the meaning of equilateral. I think you got the idea of equilateral triangle. The triangle which are having all sides equal are called as what? Equilateral triangle. And here similar means they are having equal shape but different sizes are called as similar triangles. We are going to study in detail about it, but is this one, this time, two equilateral triangles. So first of all, the triangles are having equal side is called as what? Equilateral triangle. So I am going to draw a figure. Then in the figure part, I am going to draw equilateral triangle. Means just take care that their measure should be equal, length should be equal. Okay, so these are the two triangles having equal lengths. This is equilateral triangle. This is an equilateral triangle. Here I am going to write ABC. Here I am going to write PQR. Is it right? So, after drawing a figure, what I am going to do? We are going to write given. What is the meaning of given? That is antecedent. What is antecedent? In antecedent, we are going to draw by triangle ABC and triangle PQR are equilateral triangles. Equilateral triangles. Then you are going to try to prove. Prove means consequent. What is the consequent? These two triangles are similar, means triangle ABC, and this is the sign of similar, similar to triangle PQR. See, this is a sign of what? Congruent, and this is a sign of what? Similar. So this is the way you are going to write this answer. Copy down it properly by pausing your video. If an angle in a linear pair, this property I have already given to you, and which angles are called as angles in the linear pair. So while doing any theorem, you read the statement properly. If the angles in linear pair are congruent, correct, then they are in a right angle. Right angle, we have the idea it is a 90 degree. So we are not going to show in the figure the 90 degree, but you are going to draw angle of 90 degree. Is it right? Means this is the angles forming linear. This is the thing. If I draw like this, it is angles forming linear pair. But I know that I have to prove it is 90 degree. Means I will draw like this. But I will not show it is 90. हाँ लिखूंगा नहीं 90. Just symbolically as I represent नहीं करूँगा. Is it right? So what are you going to do? A, O, B, and C is there, right? These two are congruent. I will put a sign of what? Congruent sign. This is the way we are going to draw the figure. So, after drawing a figure, what are you going to write? Given. What is the meaning of given? It is antecedent. Okay, what is antecedent? That if angles in a linear pair are congruent, means what are you going to write? Angle AOC and angle BOC are angles forming linear pair. Means first of all you have to prove angles in a linear pair. The angles forming linear pair. They are congruent. Congruent means angle AOB are congruent to angle BOC. Is it right? Angles in linear pair are congruent, means they are angles forming a linear pair and they are congruent. And what I have to prove? That is called as what? Consequent. What is the meaning of consequent? They are right angle. Right angle means we are going to write angle AO. Oh, sorry. I should be AOC. Angle AOC, na? AOC is equal to measure of angle BOC is equal to 90 degree. 90 degree means right angle. Have you understood this? I think have you understood properly? Copy down it by pausing the video. Now see the last question. Last question of your chapter as well as last question of this. You have to draw the figure. You have to write consequent and antecedent. The altitude drawn on two sides of a triangle. What do you mean by altitude? Altitude is a perpendicular drawn on two sides of a triangle. In a triangle there are three sides, and we are going to draw altitude from on the two sides of a triangle are congruent. They are also congruent. Then two sides are congruent. Then those two sides are congruent. At this level, you have to think, and you have to student when you are proving anything, it is very important to draw the diagram. और वही भी देख रहे हैं कि क्या prove करना है, what is to be proved, that is what is the consequent, and according to that we have to draw the figure. They have asked you that draw if the altitude drawn on the two sides of a triangle, altitude is what? Perpendicular, are congruent, then two sides are congruent. Means we are going to draw the figure in which what two sides are congruent. So how will draw the figure? First of all, I will draw a base of a triangle, and then we are going to draw, what is that? Two sides, they should be congruent. Means this type. We should know that what we are going to do, that these two sides are congruent. So With help of protractor also you can take what? Suppose I have taken 5 centimeter from this. Here also I have to take a 5 centimeter. That will look like what? Isosceles triangle, or these two sides are congruent. But that we have to prove. So don't give the marking on it. It is a perpendicular. Then altitude. Altitude means what? Perpendicular. Perpendicular should be drawn from the opposite vertex. Means that perpendicular is drawn from B to AC. So it will look like this. B to AC. And you are going to give the sign of what? Perpendicular. That is the altitude. Here also we are going to draw from C to AB. So this is the altitude. You got it? So we are going to give the statement as what? BM and CN are what? Altitude. And these altitudes, which one? BM is equal to CN. And we have to prove that what AB is congruent to AC. See once again, should be very careful while doing it. If the altitude means what? Perpendicular, drawn on two sides of a triangle. And altitudes are always drawn from opposite vertex. So B and C are the vertex, and from here we are going to draw a perpendicular, that is called as altitude. Drawn on two sides are congruent. That altitudes are congruent. BM and CN are called as altitudes, and they are congruent. Then you have to prove that two sides are congruent. So what will be given for it? Have you understood the figure? Okay. Then in triangle ABC, we have to prove altitude. But what is the meaning of altitude? I told you. Segment BM is perpendicular to side AC. That is perpendicular is altitude, and segment CN is perpendicular to side AB. That is the altitude. And these altitudes are congruent, means BM is equal to CN, or segment BM is congruent to segment CN. If you are writing one of it or both of them will be okay. This is actually your antecedent. And what to prove is consequent. What is the consequent? These two sides are congruent. Which two sides will be congruent? Then what you are going to prove? Side AB is congruent to side AC. Those two sides are congruent, means AB is congruent to AC. We have to prove. This is the way you are going to do the last question. Student, as I told you when we have started, okay, then first you pause the video, you copy down it, and as I told you that from this year they have separated two parts of mathematics. One is algebra and geometry, maths 2 is geometry, and we started with the basic concept in geometry. So this topic was really fantastic. कोई भी difficulties नहीं था. We had gone through each and every point properly. I think you have enjoyed, but the student, please keep in mind, for maths 1 or maths 2, whatever you are going to write in your notebook, that is a notes for yourself. और वो मैथ स्टडी करने के लिए उससे अच्छे नोट्स है ही नहीं. कोई बुक्स को हाथ लगाने की जरूरत नहीं है ना. आपने जो नोट्स बनाए वो आपको एग्जाम के वक्त भी हेल्प करने वाले हैं. सो यू मेंटेन योर नोटबुक फर्स्ट, एंड this you have to study in proper way. I think you have understood the concept properly. Okay, और मैंने अच्छी तरह से आप लोग को इसको अच्छी तरह से टॉपिक को करना है. You have understood each and every step, and now Vivek sir का teaching is in your hand. If you are not got any particular part, आपको वीडियो को रिवाइंड करने के लिए टाइम है, आपको वापस देख सकते हैं. तो इफ एनी पार्ट, आई थिंक थियरम वाला पार्ट इज लिटिल बिट, बिकॉज फर्स्ट टाइम वी आर गोइंग टू स्टडी. सो इफ यू वांट टू चेक इट, यू कैन स्टडी वंस अगेन. आप लोग वो वीडियो को वापस देख के अच्छे तरह समझ लो, एंड एनी डाउट इज देयर, यू कैन कॉल मी. I will clear it on your on mobile, even on your, when you call me. Okay, so don't worry. You study it properly. This is a fantastic topic, and this will be the first topic for your unit test. Thank you, students.